Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Nimbus here, and today we are going to be doing a gear progression guide for new players. So we're going to be going over step by step how to get you guys from pretty much no gear at all the way into full set arcane, and we're going to be breaking it down step by step into different phases here. And so if you guys do enjoy this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're gunning for 1,000 subs on YouTube right now, and every single subscriber counts. And also, if you guys want to enter an NX giveaway, I'm running one in my Discord, and you guys can just click the description below to go ahead and enter that and join my Discord. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into the gear progression guide. Okay, so before we get into this guide, there are 3 key laws I want to lay out that you should follow to optimally progress your gear. Not following these laws will result in you burning mesos and inting yourself. So follow them or brick yourself and get locked up like the dirty criminal you are, okay? So law number 1, only Star Force on events. The cost difference between trying to star a piece of gear off event versus on event is on average 40% cheaper. So you're pretty much getting all your upgrades at almost half off if you are Star Forcing on events. So unless you have unlimited mesos to piss away, only Star Force on events, okay? Law number 2, free damage over enhancing. A common mistake I see new players make when they need damage is they default to upgrading their gear. This is usually really inefficient, as there are a ton of free ways to get stronger when you're just starting out in MapleStory, such as the Link skills and Legion. Even as a mid to late game player, almost 50% of my damage is still coming from Links and Legion. So if you're not at a spot where you're time gated by Legion coins to upgrade your Legion rank, or you have no Link skills to work on, instead of spending mesos to get stronger, work on your Legion and work on your Link skills. Save those mesos, you know, it's free damage. Law number 3, settle, settle, settle. The culture in MapleStory is kind of fratty in the sense that everyone parrots the same catchphrases such as never settle, settling's for pussies, I'm not a settler, and this is completely, for lack of a better word, idiotic for new players. A lot of guys that say these phrases are endgame players in the pitched or eternal waiting room, and their situation is completely different from yours. For them it makes sense, but you need to understand as a new player, never settling is probably the easiest way to speedrun inting yourself. MapleStory is a game where you can actually lose strength while trying to get stronger due to RNG, so you need to make calculated risks as your threshold for variance is a lot lower when you have limited resources. You should be going for safe, low risk enhancements with a contingency plan in place to secure gains when starting out. If you're here to gamble, good luck, go crazy, and send everything. But if you're here to get stronger efficiently, this is a guide for you. Okay, so with these 3 laws in mind, let's get into the actual guide. Okay guys, so as you're leveling to 200, you can pretty much just throw on whatever you want. It doesn't really matter, but as we start getting ready to take on CRA, we want to be in the Pencilier set and have our weapon, secondary, and emblem equipped. It'll be a little hard to get everything else, to get started at least. So we're going to need the Pencilier gloves, cape, shoes, the hat, the overalls, and then we should also have a secondary, and we should also have an emblem. And then for our weapon, it should be called the Utgard weapon, and that'll also just contribute to the Pencilier set. And this would be a pretty solid spot to be starting out from. If you guys don't know where to get the Pencilier equips for, all you need to do is just kill mobs around your level in the Arcane River and below. I think starting at like 140-ish. Up to like 235, 260. These items are just going to drop like candy. So just put these on, maybe start them up to around 10 stars if you can afford it, but this is a great starting point for us. Okay, and then so with the Pencilier gear, you're going to want to start just rolling for mainline rare potentials with whatever cubes you guys have on your gear, and you just want to look for 3% of whatever your main stat is. For example, if I'm a Demon Slayer, I want strength as my main stat, I'm just going to roll for 3% strength on my potentials. As for the flames, don't worry about that stuff either, guys. So just 10 stars, top line of your main stat, and then after that we're going to be moving into the boss gear. So you can get all of these equipments from doing the daily bosses, and so they do fill out all the different slots. So First of all, to unlock your pocket slot, all you want to do is just equip any piece of equipment you find that says it increases charm, or you can use a trait boost potion that we get from events. Those will give you enough to get your pocket slot. It might take a couple seconds for it to finish loading, but if you use one trait boost potion and you just wait a couple seconds, your pocket slot will be unlocked. So from Pink Bean, we're going to be wearing the Pink Holy Cup, which will go into our pocket, and that's option. This is the best option. You're going to be keeping this for a long time. Option number 2 is the I think it's called the Stone of Life, and you get this from normal Hilla and hard Hilla. From Zakum, he's going to be giving us the Aquatic Letter Eye, which is going to be something that's pretty good. And then we'll also be wearing the Face, which is the Condensed Power Crystal. So both of these are going to be from Zakum. On top of that, for our pendant, we are going to be wearing either the Mechanter pendant, the Horntail pendant, and these ones come from normal Arcarium and normal Horntail. If we start doing Chaos Horntail, he'll start dropping the Chaos Horntail pendant, and then if you get lucky with Arcarium, he might drop a Dominator pendant. So this is what we're going to be wearing in our pendant slots. And just something to note is that pendants are unique, which means that you cannot wear duplicates of the same pendant. So in other words, we're going to be stuck with just 2 of this combination of 4. You cannot wear 2 of either of them. If we get lucky while we're running Chaos Pink Bean, we're going to get a Black Bean Mark, which is another great option for us here. And then if we get super lucky and we're running Papulatus, we might even get a Chaos Papulatus Mark, but this is extremely rare. So these are going to be our 2 main options early on. And again, the Black Bean Mark is a little rare, so you're probably just going to be rocking the Zakum face or eyes for a while. In regards to the shoulder, Magnus drops a shoulder for us, which we'll be wearing for a while too. And then for the earrings, we can either wear the Deicitus earrings, which are dropped by Horntail, or we'll be wearing the Will-O-Wisp earrings, which are going to be dropped by Hilla. For our first ring, we will be wearing the Silver Blossom ring, and this is also dropped by Horntail. And then this is the Crystal Ventus badge, which will go into our badge slot, and we pretty much wear this until we get Pitch Boss. This is going to be dropping from Magnus. We'll also be equipping the Treasure Hunter Jong ring, and this comes from New Leaf City. It's just a really easy quest. It gives you a ring that goes up to 15 stars. It's not bad at all. And then for the belt, we'll also be wearing the Golden Clover belt. So with all of these items, this should be enough to put us into 9 set of the boss set, which is the max. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, we'll actually have 10. So these will start getting changed out, but when you guys have this set up, this should be enough to start getting you into CRA parties. I would recommend you are at around 800,000 to 1 million combat power, and these items again should be enough to start getting you into CRA, and then from there we'll start being able to move into our CRA gear, which brings us to the next step, getting into CRAs. Okay, so with everything at around 10 to 12 stars and just rare potentials on everything, which is prime line or the first line being 3% of your main stat, we should have enough power to start running CRA, which should be around I'd say 600 to 800,000 combat power. So from Vellum, we will be getting the weapon. I don't remember who's what for Queen Pierre and Von Bon, but one of them is pants, one of them gives us the shirt, and one of them gives us the hat. So for this gear, I would say that we should be able to start looking to solo CRA. We should be seeing it around anywhere from 800,000 to maybe 1.2 mil combat power. You should be able to push these to 16 stars for the most part. Some of these even 17 if they allow it. It's like, for example, a Dominator pendant, the belt, the CRAs can go 17, the shoulder stops at 15, the Black Bean Mark, for example, can go 17, the earrings can go 17. You do not need to 17 star your pencilier items though. And then in regards to our ring slots, you should be able to get some event rings. There's always events going on right now. And so because of that, you should be getting these event rings to fill out the rest of your ring slots. And so right now these can just be damage gear. Later on you can turn these event rings into drop gear, but something to keep in mind when you're picking out the event rings is make sure that you're picking the event rings that give you anywhere from 25 attack and magic attack, and that should be the baseline. So these are the highest tier of event rings you can get, and they're equivalent to 18-star rings, and they're pretty great. Also, you guys should be able to start running Princess No, and if you guys do get your hands on a Conus treasure, you can also use these too. So again, we're looking for maybe 16 stars, 17 stars if there's an event we have extra money. In regards to the heart, we can just put any old heart we find. The best in slot heart is going to be the fairy heart, which is this green one. If it's not the fairy heart, don't really worry about the potentials. I wouldn't say push it past epic, as eventually you will be replacing it with the fairy heart, which is currently best in slot. In regards to the secondary, we will be replacing the secondary with the Princess No secondary here. So this does take a while to get, but it is pretty much guaranteed eventually. And so yeah, this is what we should be looking at. So any of these rings to fill out the slots. Maybe one of these will replace the Treasure Hunter John ring, honestly. Oh, oopsies. Any of these will replace the Treasure Hunter John ring. Like, let's say maybe the KT replacing the Treasure Hunter John ring, right? So let's say this is what we're dealing with right now, 2 event rings and KT. And so from here, we should be looking to solo CRA and anything below. And we're gonna keep doing our daily bosses. We're gonna start doing our weekly bosses, and then we're gonna just start saving up money. And again, maybe now we can start looking at putting things to epic with all of the cubes, like the green cubes and the dark purple cubes we get. You can use those to start tiering these up to from rare to like epic, maybe unique if you get lucky. I wouldn't really worry about pushing these legendary, as almost all of this gets replaced. If you guys do want to invest a little more into this character and make it stronger, I would say the items that we keep the longest are definitely going to be the Conus treasure, the pink bean belt we keep for a while too, the CRAs we pretty much keep all the way up until late game, the Dominator pendant and black bean mark we keep for a very, very long time. Actually, maybe not the black bean mark, but everything else, and the earrings we keep for a while too. So if I were you guys and I was looking to make my character stronger, I would definitely start the belt, the rings, the Dom pendant, the earrings, the CRAs for sure. We can push CRAs all the way to 22 theoretically, though I wouldn't recommend that. I would say stopping at 17 right now is perfect for you guys. Okay, so for this step, we are going to be slowly moving into Absolab now. So I'd recommend you guys start running normal Lotus and normal Damien at around 1 million to 1.5 million combat power. And just a really friendly reminder, guys, when you guys are queuing up for parties in the party finder, just make sure you scout out everyone else and make sure you're around the same strength. You don't want them to kill out the boss too fast and then you end up red dotting and not getting drops. So again, what we are going to be doing with the Absolabs is we're going to just be replacing our current set, and we're also going to be breaking our boss set. So I'd also recommend, if you guys have the patience, to start running Commercy, because the Commercy items are level 160, and they also end up giving you some pieces that are guaranteed. All you need to do is just keep running Commercy and you'll get the more spares, and these go up to 22, so they are a huge upgrade compared to what we currently have equipped, except for the Dominator pendant. So we can replace the Chaos Horntail pendant with the Sweetwater pendant. We can replace the Black Bean mark with the Sweetwater monocle, and we can replace the Power Crystal that only goes to, I think, 10 stars with the Sweetwater tattoo. So we're slowly going to be breaking the boss set here. Another thing we can be doing now is replacing the Silver Blossom ring with the Meister ring. So if you guys aren't running Threads of Fate, you guys should definitely start doing that, so you can get Meister accessory crafting and start crafting Meister rings, because this also goes to 22 stars. So with all these rings here, even though they're damage gear right now, we can turn all this into drop gear, which is great. And then so again, our Root Abyss weapon will get replaced with the Absolab weapon. Our Pencilier shoes can now get replaced with the Absolab shoes. Our Pencilier cape will get replaced with the Abso cape. Our Pencilier gloves can be replaced with the Abso gloves, and our Pencilier shoulder can be replaced with the Abso shoulder. And our set should be looking something like this now. So we'll be 5 set Abso. We'll also have some of the boss sets still going, and then we'll also, have really good stars, at least 17 on our Sweetwater gear. So everything again should just be 17 stars. Do not push anything except for your Dominator pendant and your CRAs past 17 stars. A lot of this stuff gets replaced, including Absolab, as we move into Arcanes, but you should be looking something like this. And once you have all these 17 starred, you should be looking at around maybe anywhere from like 2 to 5 million combat power. And I wouldn't push any of this stuff past unique, as we are going to be upgrading this really soon. Realistically, you guys can just run epic potentials on all this stuff, except for maybe your secondary and emblem. I would say you can push these to legendary, as you will be keeping these for a long time. Your CRAs are also okay to push to legendary, and your weapon, if you really need the damage, you can push legendary. But honestly, I would try and keep this epic or unique if possible, even though it would give you a lot of damage, just because again, this gets replaced super soon, and all you guys need to do is just get strong enough to start running Lucid and Will, and then these will get replaced really shortly after. So I wouldn't invest too much into this. But again, I would try and get everything that we're keeping as strong as possible. So the stuff that we are keeping is again going to be the Conus Treasure, the Meister Ring, the Dominator Pendant. These are okay to push to legendary, all of the Sweetwater stuff, because we do turn this into drop gear. The CRAs you can push as far as you want, honestly, just because we do keep the CRA 3 set for a very long time, even though we break the 4 set. And then the weapon and the secondary and the emblem we will be keeping for a very long time too, so you guys can push that too. Again, some classes, by the way, their best in slot secondary is not Pinot Shield. For example, a lot of mages want the Demo Shield, so just make sure you guys go into your class discords. I'll link that in my Discord. I have a link for the master list of all the discords in there if you guys wanted to join that. Again, link in description. And you guys just make sure that you are wearing the right best in slot secondary, as again, some people it's Pinot, some people it's, for example, the Demo Shields, and for Demon Slayers it's actually the Ruin Force Shield, and Demon Avengers too. So just make sure you guys are wearing your best in slot secondary before you go ahead and start investing heavily into that. Okay guys, and so for the final upgrades we're going to be doing here to get into our arcanes, this is it. So once you guys are 17 star Abso, you guys should be able to start running Lucid, Will, maybe even some of normal Tenebris. And if you guys are getting carried, you guys can definitely get carried through Chaos Tenebris. And so again, what we're going to be looking to do now is just slowly move out of our boss set and out of our Absos. So if you guys are running normal slime at this point, which you should be able to, if you get lucky, the normal slime will be dropping a ring, and so you can put this in here. You will have to change it over to a Dawn Boss ring, and so you can do that just by talking to the slime at the Chaos Slime Town. And then so another thing is, if you guys are running Lucid and Will and you get lucky, you might also get a Twilight Mark. So if a Twilight Mark drops, that's great. The Dawn boss set becomes active, so you will be getting an extra 10% boss damage from having the Slime Ring and the Twilight Mark both equipped. On top of that, you guys should be strong enough to start running Gollux now, if not in a struggle run, then getting carried or just running it by yourself if you guys got the hands for it. Me personally, I don't. So we will be breaking the sets of the boss set, and we will be moving into Superior Gollux. It takes about 2 months to get the coins for all the other Gollux stuff, but do not go Reinforced Gollux if this is your main. It's not worth it. You want to go straight into Superior. You're just going to set yourself back like a month or two of prog if you end up settling Superior, or sorry, if you end up settling Reinforced. So again, make sure you only do Superior Gollux set if this is your main character. So the event rings again get replaced by the Superior ring. The earrings get replaced by the Superior earrings replace the regular earrings, and then our Sweetwater pendant we will turn into drop gear probably, and then so we'll get rid of the Sweetwater pendant or the Dominator pendant, whichever one you guys like less, I guess, and then we will be replacing it with the Superior pendant. Okay, so one alternative we are going to have to the Superior pendant, or not Superior pendant, the Sweetwater pendant, is also going to be the Daybreak pendant. This is a little later on too, but these are all stuff we can be getting from some of the bosses we start doing. Maybe not the Daybreak pendant, as that's maybe a little later, but again, the Absos are going to get replaced by the Arcanes. And so we will just, again, same thing, we keep the CRA set because the CRA set 3-piece is super good. It is the only set up until Eternals that has a top and bottom, and that's why we keep it, because we lose out on one whole item worth of potential, flames, and stars if we wear the Absolab or the Arcane overalls. So something to really note, guys, if I were you, I would personally never buy the arcane weapon, and I would simply just wait for an arcane box to drop when I'm running the hard lucid, hard will, chaos gloom, hard darknell, and Varicilla, hard Varicilla too. And so the reason is because it is super expensive to get the arcane weapon. It's going to cost you at least, I think, like 10 bill, and then like 2 months of running normal will, or like yeah, it takes forever, guys. It's just really not worth it. And this is what you want to be wearing. This is pretty close to what I'm wearing right now, except I have like a continuous ring instead. But this set is going to be enough to get you to pretty much solo black mage. Like, this is really, really, really close to almost like 1-to-1 of what I'm wearing right now, and I'm at 97 million combat power. So this is going to be your end goal from here. If you guys get to this point, or when you guys get to this point, I should say, you're going to understand the game enough to know what are the next upgrades for you. Obviously, you're going to want to start looking at liberation. You're going to want to start 22ing everything here, because all of these are keeps, except for maybe one of these rings you can get rid of. Something I would also recommend looking into is foddering. You guys are able to fodder into the superior set for the most part. I'll be making a guide on that in the future, but I just wanted to give you guys some direction, because a lot of people have been asking what they want to start like looking at. For the pink bean belt, for example, keep as many copies of that as you can. For the Dominator pendants, keep as many copies of that as you can. For the Conus Treasure and Meister Ring, keep as many copies of these as you can. For the reinforced Golux belt and earrings that drop from Golux, again, keep as many of those as you guys can. Just keep as many spares as you can of the items you're going to want to 22, and anything within 10 levels below it, so you can fodder it. Again, I'll be making a guide on that in the very, very near future. But again, this is what I think you guys should be looking to strive for. This is a pretty good set. This will hold you down for a long, long time, all the way into Eternals pretty much. The only things that start getting replaced for most of these accessories are just pitched boss. But that is a whole other beast, and I just wanted to create this guide for you people who are, you know, just getting into MapleStory and have no idea what gear they should be looking out for. This is what I would recommend. This is what I think is a pretty streamlined way to do it. And if you guys are sleeping on Commercy, I would highly, highly, highly recommend to do that content. It's just a great way to get spares, a great way to get pieces that you can push to 22, and a great kind of intermediary for while you guys are still moving from the boss set into pitched. It's just really helpful, and it holds you down, and honestly, it's good old reliable. Okay, so if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys do need help with some of these bosses, we do run a good amount of carries. There's a lot of friendly people in my Discord. So again, I'll go ahead and link that in the description. I also stream on Twitch, so don't forget to drop a follow on Twitch. And yeah, if you guys really enjoyed the video, like, comment, and subscribe. We are still gunning for 1,000 subs, and every single sub counts. And yeah, I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.